Hi folks, so this is what this season is going to look like for me. What you're looking at here is a map of my first of what I'm calling an all clear alert survey. It is an audio survey where I sample the nearby sounds immediately after I drive away from leaving my recorder at each of these spots. And what I'm listening for in those quote-unquote drive-offs are what I call all clear alerts. Now sometimes I'll casually refer you to a previous video of mine to make the current video make more sense. But this time, it's absolutely a prerequisite to watch my previous video entitled All Clear Alerts before watching this one. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. So now that you've watched that video and are now up to speed with that phenomenon, this video, and this entire summer for that matter, I'm going to be looking for these all clear alerts in a more concentrated, systematic way. Each one of these yellow diamonds on this map represents a location where I left an audio recorder for about 10 minutes. In those 10 minutes, I can be heard getting back into my truck and driving off, hence the term drive-offs. Where I drove off in those 10 minutes was to the next location, approximately 1/2 mile down the road, where I would then place a second recorder before getting back into my truck and backtracking back to location 1 to retrieve recorder number 1. Then it's off to location 2 to pick up recorder 2, stop that one, then it's off another 1/2 mile down the road to location 3, where I'd put recorder 1 out. Then to location 4 to put recorder 2 out, then repeat this process over and over until I ran out of time. I only had about 3.5 hours to do this 10-mile survey on that day, which works out to about 18 stops. This was my first time doing this festival of wide turns, so I hope to get better and faster with this as the season goes on. Maybe a reasonable expectation would be about 20 stops in 3 hours. In my all clear alerts video, I only checked for sounds as I was driving off, but I think there's just as much chance of an alert being sounded as my vehicle is seen returning. Return alerts, we'll call them, I guess. I'll be listening for both. Just enough to raise an alarm. At each stop, I will take my recorder about 50 steps into the woods before hiding it there. I believe this slight intrusion into the woods is necessary for an alarm to be raised, especially on the return. Humans in this area may stop their vehicles from time to time, but I'd guess they'd rarely get out and just randomly start walking into the woods in these remote locations. I'm trying to introduce a novel and potentially dangerous behavior into their world in hopes that they may start to communicate with one another, and if these communication attempts are loud enough, I hope to capture them on my recorders. Last season, without even trying, I recorded around 80 or 90 drive-offs and got 8 good, all-clear alerts in total from them for the 2020 season. This season, it should take me about 4 days to equal that, only going out about 5 hours per day. A few things I'm going to change after doing this first survey is that I'm not going to try to do it when it's too windy out again. It was really hard for me to hear anything on playback or see anything on the spectrogram. I had to struggle to even hear my truck pulling away. So that I'll change. I'll start filming those 50 steps into the woods in the event I get something on audio. That way it'll be interesting to see what that area looks like. I have to start putting my recorder further in to avoid getting the sound of tire pops. It's going to be the Achilles heel of this whole experiment. Now, tire pops are the sound tires make when slowly rolling over gravel. Some of them could sound like wood knocks, so get used to the term tire pops. I'll be referring to them all season long. I think I'm going to have to up the bar for the sound quality for the wood knocks I might be getting as my vehicle is either rolling away or returning. Some are going to be on the fence, and I might be inclined to just ignore some of them. I might put them to video where I might ask for your opinions. Just know that I'm setting the bar high for these knocks myself, so that in order for me to make a definitive statement about them, it's not going to be done lightly. Hopefully, I can get some vocals instead, but knocking seems to be the preferred communication method, at least here in northern Wisconsin. I guess we're just having to delve into the sound of rubber on rock versus wood on wood. If I do a survey and it yields 0 results, I may share the location of that survey on a video, but I will not share a location that I suspect that these things inhabit. You never know who's watching, right? I guess it's time to talk about the pink elephant in the room here, where I have location 7 blinking on and off. Listen here as I get some curious knocking as my vehicle returns to pick up recorder 1 at that location. Well, what do you think? Were those tire pops or wood knocks? Sorry about the wind. It really didn't help. Please tell me what you think in the comments below. These surveys will be part of Phase 1 for the season. Phase 1 will be identifying likely locations for these unknown forest beings. Phase 2 will be setting up print traps in locations where positive results were attained, and maybe some video. I'm not satisfied with the stealth of any video camera out there at the time of the making of this video, so I'd hate to throw a giant confounding variable like video into the mix at this point. Maybe just audio along with the print traps for now, since I've had great results from doing that in the past. I may hold off on video until it passes my sniff test. Regarding the footprint traps, it is my primary intent to communicate to them the concept that I indeed know about them. It is not to try to trick them into leaving their own footprint in the larger box. Although that would be exciting in and of itself, it is not my primary intent. I feel I need to cross a sort of philosophical border with them. One that tells them that all of their efforts to remain hidden from me are useless. Maybe they'll switch their tactics with me. Maybe they'll show themselves. Maybe they'll invite me over for dinner, where I'll be the main course. Yes, I am aware of the risks to myself by crossing this philosophical boundary with them. And no, I don't have a death wish, if that's what you're wondering. It's just that someone's got to do it, right? So it might as well be me. I suspect I may have an adrenaline dependence problem. Phase 3 may involve some actual hiking into some of the better spots that I've identified with Phases 1 and 2. I'll have to make sure I keep things consistent for this step, i.e., dress the same, drive the same vehicle, as I want to be recognized. Well, that's all for now, folks, and thanks for watching. If you like my videos, please consider subscribing. Click on the bell to get notifications when I post a new video.